He is getting ready for a New Year's Six Bowl appearance. Eli Drinkwitz, the head coach of the Missouri Tigers, joins us. Coach, how we doing?
I'm doing pretty good. I got my camo on, for Transfer Portal Day. You never know when you have to take cover and hide. So it's just one of those days.
It's just one of those days. I know yesterday was a big day, too, finding out the destination for you guys. But it was also a big day for you on an ESPN show, making waves with this clip that we're going to show here.
Me too.
Well, hey guys, I got a quick phone call. Connor Stallion's beeping in right here. I'm trying to get a few signals here, so I gotta go. But as soon as we get done, look forward to competing against Ryan Day, and we'll go from there.
Well, what would you learn, Coach? What'd you learn with that phone call?
Right. Ohio State's got some really good players. Okay,
Yeah.
And so. We'll take any advantage we can get in that matchup. I didn't know if Connor was planning on scouting those guys, needed tickets or what. So, no, I'm just having a good time. I don't mean anything by it. I just trying to be funny.
Now, Coach, at the beginning, you just said something about having to hide. You just won 10 games at the University of Missouri. You don't have to hide nowhere. You can walk around.
No.
Everybody wants to see you in St. Louis. I know that for sure.
Yeah, no, I'm not hiding. I just you never know. You just never know who's going to come into your office. Everything's good. We had into the season meetings last week, and everything seems really good. But you just never quite sure. With all the different guys jumping in the portal. I think the biggest thing right now in college football is I think coaches and players have to be very clear and concise about their communication and what their role is on the team. What is the expected role? And can the player embrace that role? And if they can't, great. But this day and age of maybe being less than transparent, I think is really tricky, for a player-coach relationship.
Right now, when I look at the University of Missouri, I was a high school coach for a long time in the state, and I have not seen in that entire period as much excitement as it is from recruits from St. Louis wanting to play at Missouri. When I think about what Luther has done, Luther Burton, Cody Schrader, Brady Cook, how has recruiting changed for you, not just in St. Louis, but across the state as a whole?
Yeah, you know what? It's been really interesting because I made this line the other day that I was being truthful. Like we're actually getting the opportunity to pick. There's a lot of people that are interested in the University of Missouri and trying to get us to be interested in them. And we're a little bit more, hey, we've got these specific people that we're looking at. We've got this specific target range, and you got to really be above the line in order for us to consider taking you right now. Everybody's trying to balance their roster numbers, and we've had several guys. They'll be announcing here in the next couple weeks saying, "Hey, we're going to come back." We're maybe not going to go pursue the NFL just yet. Maybe we're not going to. Maybe we're going to use our fifth year, COVID year, coming back, and so our roster's a little bit crunched right now, and so we're having to be very judicious in how we go about building it back. We do have some real needs. Obviously we're losing a couple of corners to the NFL with Ennis Rakestraw and Chris Evans-Drain. So, obviously going to be doing a little portal shopping at the cornerback position. In defensive end, we're going to have Darius Robinson. I think will be a first-round pick. We'll have back-to-back defensive ends drafted. And so we are going to be, looking for a couple of defensive ends. You were having a commentary about somebody earlier. I can't really comment on that, but we might have interest in that. Who knows? But we got to figure out how it all plays out here moving forward.
Yeah, that is not a bold statement to make. You and probably every other coach across the country is interested.
Yeah, and here's the reality. Most of these guys already know where they're going. Most of them are not going into the portal blind, which is good. It's fine. It cleans it up. It's not quite like Amazon where you can just go into the portal and pick guys. So it's going to be a real interesting couple of weeks in college football. And really the biggest challenge is signing day ends for high school players on the 20th, but the portal continues all the way through the first day of school. And so there's going to be a lot of evaluations, a lot of recruiting. It used to be after signing day, coaches got some time to breathe, but that's not really the case anymore.
Yeah, you mentioned a lot of these guys enter the portal having that intel, already kind of knowing where they're going. I mean, technically, though, that's tampering. How do we fix it to where guys don't just enter the portal sight unseen with no idea what's next. Is there a way to maybe fix it so that's not tampering?
I got my own issues trying to coach a college football team. I really don't have any suggestions or ideas about that kind of stuff. I think it's, when we invited agents into college football, I think we had to have understood that that was going to be the case. Everybody's saying it's tampering. I'm not sure that that's one, provable, or two, accurate, because agents have the ability to call around and see what's going on. So, I don't know. I don't know that that's, it's not as direct or clear cut as saying that a coach is, messing with somebody else's roster. So I don't know how to fix that.
Coach, when a lot of guys in high school will call me and they'll tell me that they're being slept on or they feel like they're being disrespected in the recruiting process because they don't have the offers. I remember when Cody Schrader was a high school player, he had one school that would take him, Truman State. You allowed him a spot as a walk-on, and he's turned into the leading rusher in the SEC. You said he should be up for the Heisman as well. How important is it for kids in high school to understand they could potentially go and prove themselves on the field and end up in a similar situation as Cody if they have his type of work ethic?
Yeah, I think the one thing that is going to have to continually evolve in recruiting, especially at the high school level, is it's going to be less about hype and more about product on the field. And they're going to have to go to a place that values competition. Number one core value for us is always compete. And I had somebody in my office today, and they were talking about reps, and I just said, hey, look, man, I don't play players based off whether I like them, dislike them. I play based off who's going to keep me employed. And at the end of the day, this is a business of winning football games. And so on the field, that product has to be an elite product. And the reality of it is Cody Schrader came in and gave us the best chance to win because he's the best player. And I absolutely believe he deserves to be in the Heisman conversation. I don't think he should beat Jaden Daniels out. I'm good with that. But I don't know that there's five better players in college football from a production standpoint this season than Cody Schrader and what he's done for our football team. And Brady Cook and Luther Burton certainly have played elite at their position. But what Cody Schrader's done this year, he leads yards per game in the entire college football. He leads the SEC in rushing. I don't know what else you can do. He's an old school running back. I'm going to the Burlsworth Award tonight. Look forward to celebrating his season there. But he definitely deserves to be on people's ballots for the Heisman Trophy.
Yeah, we're excited to welcome on Cody Schrader to the show a little bit later on and talk about his journey from Division II to leading the SEC in rushing. So that's the player side of thing, what players can learn. But what can other coaches learn from maybe that flexibility to take a chance on somebody at a lower level and see them having success like Schrader did?
Yeah, I don't think it would be hard for Cody Schrader to get an opportunity at any other school. I think, he is such a determined, tough football player that anybody that gets around him is going to fall in love with him as a player. The scouts ask me about him, and I've told them all the same thing. If he gets in that building, your head coach is never going to want to put him out of the building. And I think coaches at all levels just have to understand, like, it's all about competition and being open to letting the best player win the job. And I did the same thing in fall camp when I opened up our quarterback competition. I had all of our staff write down who's going to be the starting quarterback. They passed it up to me, and I immediately took all those and threw them in the trash and said, there's not going to be any preconceived ideas on what's going to happen. Let's let the play speak for itself. And I think that really helped our mindset all the way around for everybody in the competitions to not let preconceived ideas play a factor into it.
When I go through St. Louis and anywhere in the state of Missouri, you see Luther Burton everywhere. You see him on billboards. You see him in the grocery store. You see him on Emo's Pizza. How much has NIL changed and been able to help out a place like the University of Missouri when you're talking about local stars and what the businesses and the people in the state have committed to be able to do with kids with NIL opportunities?
Yeah, I think it's been a total game changer. I think it's been an equalizer for us. Obviously, I think Luther Burton is an unbelievable football player, special talent. And, the fact that we had both NIL and home field advantage in order to recruit him. But I think also the product, the way he's played this year should be it should really be a billboard to the rest of the country on how to market and retain great players from your own state. You look at the New Year's Six Bowls. There's really two teams there, in my opinion, that overachieved at a really high level. And I think Lane Kiffin deserves a ton of credit for the way he's built that roster at Ole Miss. 2 10-win seasons in 3 years. I mean, that's incredible. But then you look at the University of Missouri, both of us are punching above our weight class. And I don't think it's any secret that we've embraced the transfer portal. We've embraced NIL, and we've embraced a different way of thinking about building our rosters moving forward. And I've got a ton of respect for Coach Kiffin and the way he goes about his business. I think he should have been considered for SEC Coach of the Year along with Coach Smart. But again, I think when you look at that top 12, you're sitting there going, okay, you don't normally see those two schools going to New Year's Six Bowls. So I think that's a direct reflection of the opportunity that's been presented to us through using the transfer portal and NIL.
Coach, thank you so much for the time and, as always, for coming on and being honest. And congratulations. Good luck in the Cotton Bowl.
Hey, I would like to say thank you. I think at the first of the season, Carl Reid picked us to have an opportunity to win 10 games.
He knew.
And so many times we take shots at people that didn't believe in us. I'd like to say I appreciate Carl. He's been a guy that's supported me and helped me and told me when I was dead wrong and told me when he believed that we could win 10 games this year. So, Carl, I appreciate you doing that for us. And anyway, appreciate y'all having me on here today.
All right, Drink. Good luck to you. Tell Cody I said hello when you see him.
I'll do it. I'll see him tonight, and he'll be a great interview today.
Love it. Yes, looking forward to having him on the show. Coach, thank you so much for being here. You guys are making me hungry talking about Emo's Pizza and those Luther Burton chips that I still have not had the chance to try, but it is on my list.
I'm going to make sure you get some. My people from St. Louis are going to send the box up here. I will make sure you get you some.
Okay, I appreciate it, Carl. All right, that's going to do it from us here in the interview. Thank you for that. Let's send it over to Studio B for more reaction. Hey, Grace.
Thanks, Emily. Yeah, great interview with Eli Drink. Mizzou coming off their first 10-win season since 2014. We got some takeaways, but first, we got a new guest in Studio B, Josh Pate. Thanks for joining us.
Look, hey, first off, thank you for having me. It's a nice place you guys have here. We were listening to Drink there, talked to Carl, and Carl had the whole bouquet of flowers for Drink preseason. But look, I happen to have on record here in this commemorative Pac-12 championship game notepad. Smoke, what does that say?
Man, Missouri over everybody.
That's my preseason prediction too. So Carl, we just want to borrow some of the flowers. We don't need all of them. We just want to borrow some of them for the studio. That's all we want. Smoke, how you
totally
doing?
Wrote that
how you doing this
back
morning?
in August, right?
Yeah, I appreciate the coffee that you brought into me this morning that I'm drinking. But that was good. You know what? And I'm drinking Drink's coffee right now.
Yeah.
I'm standing on business as well too. And the camo fit, I thought I was dressed right, but man, he got it. Hats off. And what I can take away from that is a coach understanding the value of marketing his players and his current roster and managing that the proper way. Because what a lot of buildings are getting in the problem of over-evaluating their prospects and not making sure that they're taking care of their guys in-house. And when you sit down and you listen to Coach Drink, he understands that I have to take care of my state first. I understand that NIL is going to be a part of it, and I have to make sure those guys in my state get what their fair due is. But I also understand this landscape of the transfer portal. And instead of going and investigating other people's transfer portal, I'm going to make sure nobody comes in and investigates mine, because I'm taking care of my guys. They're going to be on pizzas. They're going to have their own chips. They might have their own coffee, and they're all going to be standing on business in the state of Missouri. Business is always booming with them.
Yeah, we're all standing on business over here. Drink did a great job with guys like Luther Burton, keeping them over, making sure they're taken care of with their NIL deals.